Hey, folks, Trey, Tattoo Squid Podcast, back again after again another couple of weeks of me not doing an episode. Within reason though. Um, so I don't know if everybody that I have, uh, not everybody that I've talked to, but mentioned on the last podcast. I mean, I think I mentioned that my mom was getting very sick. Very um well, she had dementia and Parkinson's. Um so well, wait, let me just start off by, for anybody that's watching this and they're new at it, my name is Dre. I do a thing called a podcast for, and it's called Tattoo Squid Podcast. The reason why it's called Tattoo Squid, I have tattoos, obviously. Um, I like squids, even though I got one that's somewhat, see it there. It's basically an octopus, but I like squids. They're a little bit more meaner, which I didn't notice until a lot of people, because my, I got a certain thing on my car, we call it, that says tattoo squid. And I had a lot of people, certain people come up to me and saying that if I was a diver. Um, so yeah, I'm not a diver. I don't even, I can't even swim, honestly. I live on Long Island, and you figured you live on Long Island, you can be able to swim. But yeah, I had a case maybe, no, I don't, I went, didn't swim in lessons, but I just never got it. I'm not the adventurous type. I mean, I am. I'll go hiking. I'll go camping. I'll go, you know, into the woods somewhat. Uh, but like my younger brother, he'll do like mountain biking, cross country kind of stuff, like running, marathons and whatnot. My sister, she did whitewater rafting, uh, and certain other things. And me, I just like I do the low key, very calm and relaxing, like playing darts, play pool, um, occasional play video games here and there. Uh, so, but that's, in a nutshell, that's what it is. And basically, this podcast is what I'm doing now, just talking about whatever comes to mind and what went on in the past couple days or weeks. Preferably now, it's been a couple of weeks because I haven't done like an episode in maybe 1 or 2 weeks now. I usually have guests, which hopefully soon I'll be having a couple of guests come on here and there. Uh, I just got to figure out my schedule wise on how, if everything's going to go good for the weekend and whatnot. So all of you new ones, this is what's going to happen. Um, for right now, it's just me talking about different shit, stuff that you probably didn't know, some stuff that is in my past I'll bring up, um, and some sad news. So my mom had Parkinson's um, and I was gonna say Tourette's, no, she doesn't have Tourette's. Parkinson's and dementia. Um, so she had that for a while, but nobody, it didn't really register saying, she'll forget certain things. She had uh, a mishap at one point, um, and then she went to the hospital, got something fixed, uh, and then went into like rehab. Now, a lot of people, like people like myself, which, and or like anybody else that has like some kind of accident, goes in the hospital, does the surgery or whatever, and then bounces back. You do your workout, you do your rehab. You know. My mom's like 83, 84. Was 83, 84. Uh, and so you figure, 83, 84 is not going to be able to be motivated. Well, anyway, she passed away in April 10th. Um, so that's probably the reason why I haven't done like a thing. I mean, I've been getting stuff together to do an episode. I just want to explain why I wasn't on. Um, but yeah, so we had a wake, we had a funeral, um, well, the wake funeral kind of thing. Uh, she was cremated. Um, so we had our, thing that everybody else would do, and do like a wake and pay your respects and whatnot. And thank you for everybody else that came down to pay the respects, the ones that did. Um, I know everybody's busy on certain things, and we didn't really put it out there because, uh, my mom was never one for like the internet. She'll go on the internet just to, like Facebook here and there. My dad too. So they're ones that weren't like tech savvy, like texting. Like most people's parents are, they text, and they do emails. Uh, so it's they were never one for all that. It's like we tried to get my dad to do it, but my niece, which is 10, um, going on 30, uh, so she from an early age, my niece knew how to get onto like YouTube at like 3 years old. You give her the cell phone, there you go. So, my dad had no idea. He's like, "Oh, how do I get on this and this?" And she's like, "Yeah." Even to this day, we call it if something went wrong with like the remote to the TV or something. Um, they'll be calling her. She's like, "What?" And go there, fix it. Yeah, okay, I'll be in the L room. 10 years old. Yeah. Um, so that was the reason why I'm kind of behind doing this. Plus, work wise. But uh, so I got a couple of topics I wanted to get oh get to certain things. All right. Well, let's just start off with wrestling. Which everybody knows I love wrestling. I mean, I probably gave that look about it. And WWE, as for anybody else that starts in and new to it, the whole thing, and they don't realize what WWE is. If you don't know, then you've been underneath a rock somewhere. It's World Wrestling Entertainment. Before it was World Wrestling Federation. But certain things happen. Federation, I think, was like more copyrighted, so they had to go with the entertainment. Because basically, that's what it is. It's entertainment. Uh, it's but it's entertainment. Let's just say that. So, as a company would go through, they do layoffs. I mentioned this like I probably not the last one. I think maybe the second to last one. I think that they did some layoffs. Now they did more layoffs where it is more one, two, three, more women wrestlers laid off and maybe two or three men laid off. Uh, and one of them is a woman that has her contract was not going to get renewed. So she wasn't really laid off. They were just doing the whole thing and that was it. But apparently, from what I've read, they actually laid her up. Anyway, um, but if you know, you know. Um, so there's a wrestler named Eddie Thorpe, which I'm not really sure who. Uh, well, I'm not going to go through the whole names and all that, but it's like I said, you know what I'm talking about, who got laid off, whatever. You know, it's on TikTok, it's on certain uh areas of knowledge. uh, so there is, and then you got that part of it, and there's another wrestler. So there's Rey Mysterio, and he has a son. Well, not really a son. It is his son, but it's more like adopted son. So um, his he was adopted through, and it was like age, I don't know, 10, 11, 12. So he's been in the wrestling business for a long time, this guy. So Dominic Mysterio, which now goes by Dirty Dom, because he went to jail for 7 days. Um, wasn't a huge thing, but he made it sound like he lasted. No, it was actually 2 or 3 days. And he made it sound like he lasted 17 years. Um, well, anyway, I'm, and I hate to say this, and I liked him a little bit, but I wasn't like, oh my God, I want to get his shirts. I want to get this. I'm like, nah. Even John Cena, which is that's a whole different story. Uh, which I might bring into that one too. Um, I'm pretty much gonna be on the bandwagon with this whole Dirty Dom thing because just think about it. So he's been, um, I think he's been a tag team champion with certain other people. Well, he's been tag team champion with his dad, once or twice. So he's two times in just a year or so, just going into the business. He's been a champion. Then he started getting more and more. Then he became a champion again with a single title. I don't know which one it was. Um, then he went to NXT and became the North American champion twice. I believe it was twice. And so he's got that. So now you're looking at it, he's got 3 title belts that to his name somewhat. No, two, actually, I'm sorry. Two. And now recently he's got the Intercontinental Championship. I was like, wow, okay. He's making a believer out of me, because I know he can do the stuff. It was just like, what the fuck? um, and even John Cena, now let's see, I'm getting back to it. Now, John Cena has gave him props because, there's a lot of people that start out in the business and the 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 legends or the ones that's been there for whatever amount of time they've been there, they would toss this person or people in certain depths of the water to see if they can tread. And if they can't, it's like we know where they're at, or if they can make it, or they can't make it. So if they can't make it, they know we're not going to do this with them. If they can make it, then we're going to see how well they can do it. So he might be more higher up within the years that they were talking about. Like, so he's got the Intercontinental title. He had this title. He had the tag titles. So he could be the one to have every title within the 10-year span, probably. Because I think he's maybe 3 or 4 years now in it, because he started doing this stuff when COVID had the TV stuff, whatever. Um, yeah, I'm becoming a believer. All right. Well, I'm not going to get the shirts, because look, John Cena, man, that's what I was talking about. Because I mean, I like John Cena. I like the stuff he does. The Make a Wish Foundation, whatever. Uh, everybody goes through heel moments, babyface moments, but he's been babyface for like over 20 years. Now he's on his last leg of his uh journey, he's so he become heel. I don't know. But yeah, it's just, kind of crazy because I never got his, his shirts or his merchandise. There's like Aleister Black, I got merchandise on. I had New Day stuff. Well, not New Day, but like more Xavier Woods, up, down, down. I had Braun Strowman, which is another person that got released from WWE. But that's a whole different thing where he might be coming back here and there. I don't know how that's going. Um, so basically for that, that's more the wrestling part. Um, and oh yeah, so now I've noticed this uh twice. There's something that happened twice, and just let me know in the comments if you're watching this on YouTube. There's a comment section down below, or if you're crazy and you have the shit up there, um, just put in the comments about what I'm going to say about this. And even if you're listening to it, there's a comment thing, so you put your. But I've seen there's a guy and a girl, and I do these deliveries, and I'm sitting there waiting for my deliveries, and I see this guy and girl, and they're just, they're walking across, whatever, going across the parking lot, and they go to their car, which is like in the not the back of the parking lot, but like a nice, to the side, so it's away from everybody. Um, they walk over there, and now the guy, he goes by the driver's side, and he stands there, hands behind his back, just like, you know, you're just waiting there, like, do, 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 do. Or just like, like twiddling thumbs, whatever. The girlfriend or whoever, wife, significant, I don't know who it is, but I don't know if it's just friends or family. I don't know. Um, she goes, comes over, opens up the driver's side door for him, doesn't even touch the door, gets into the car, and she closes the door like a chauffeur closes door for her, like that, and then walks to the passenger side, sits in there, and hands him the keys. Now I don't know if it's a not a phobia, or is it some kind of thing where he doesn't want to touch the outside of the car and would just touch the inside of the car because he's the one that drives it, and then figuring the outside of the car, he figured that probably maybe everybody else has touched the car. I don't know. And the second time it happened, which it it just struck me odd. They get to the car, again, stands there on the outside by the driver's side. She has, the thing, and it opens. You won't open the door, but then she has the back trunk. She puts her stuff in the trunk, blah, 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 blah. Closes the trunk, goes to the driver's side with a napkin, and then opens up the door for him. And he gets in, not touching anything, gets in there, shuts the door. She goes around, get in there, hands the key, and that's it. And I'm like, yeah, I understand the chivalry, but more men do the chivalry kind of thing where they open door for the lady. They put the, I mean, they don't do it now, but I mean, like, I know times, they'll put their jacket on on like a puddle, so they don't step in the puddle. The fair damsel. Um, Now is that chivalry on the woman's part? That for helping out the man, or is he just some asshole that said you need to open a door for me or whatever? Or does he have like some kind of fear of touching stuff? Kind of like Monk on TV, that won't touch this, won't do this, like, like whatever. This happened twice. And sure enough, when I do the deliveries during, next week or something, I'll probably see it again. And to the point, I might go up to him and say, what's this about? I know it's not my business, but I'm just curious. What is this about? Why are you opening up the door for him and he can't do it unless it's a phobia? I don't know. Um, so that's that one right there. Uh, Also, I came across, not came across, but um, every time I go and see something or I reminisce about something that in my past, and it was like a friend of mine, and his name is Craig. I'm not going to give the last name, but when I used to, I was in high school, got out of high school, took a year off, wasn't going to do any work or anything like that, and I found a job, met up with a friend of mine that I went to high school with, and we both got the same job. And we worked in the same job area, and we meet this guy named Craig, which he came from down south. I'm going to say down south because I don't know exactly where down south, but he has like sections on his body. He has like tattoos, like he has a big tattoo on his shoulder down, like a dragon, and then he has like one that's over here, and he has one on top, and then it's kind of like the show Renegade. That's what it kind of reminds me of, because I saw Renegade. He loved that show. He watched it. I watched it. He did sayings where it was from a movie called Harley Davidson and the Marvel Man, which I'm sorry, folks, but I got to write this in the air. Um, so that way for my episode art, Harley Davidson, hold on to me one, and Marlboro. Okay. Um, yeah, so because there's things like shitbird and when my daddy has left, this world of whatever, blah 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 blah. You know, and he gets in there and then I don't think he had like he wore cowboy boots in the beginning. He wore cowboy boots. He didn't have them taped up like the guy on the movie, but or did he? I'm not sure. Well, anyway, I it just like came to mind with reminiscing about our days and drinking, and then he's like the one that took us out. Like I never really gone out to bars at like like 19 or something like that. We always like dabbled here and there, but um, going like hard drinking, going to bars and drink this and going to restaurants and have something to eat. And we went to this place called Chevy's, where it's like a place that is like a hangout. It's kind of, it's kind of like like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Remember the movie where they had the kids that would run away and they go to the Foot Clan, uh, and it's like, well, they're a family, and they brought us in like our parents wouldn't bring us into anything, and they treat us like family, but even though they're stealing shit and everything else. But it was kind of like that kind of vibe. You hang out. It's everybody else, because they got the volleyball court. They had the basketball court. I mean, the volleyball court, they had sand in that one section. Then they had a bar where you can get drinks for anybody that was of age. Anybody that wasn't of age had soda or whatever. And they had pool tables. You get to meet girls. Girls can meet guys. And I think at that point, guys can meet guys and girls can meet girls. Um, but it was always a an adventure with Craig, because he would do some some crazy stuff from what I remember. And like we had a beam at work, and he'll climb the beam like he was like working at some kind of like a telephone repairman kind of thing, Um, and he was very versatile on stuff like welding and woodworking and doing all this other stuff. Um, and then I just caught up, and then I was asking my friend, I'm like, "Oh, do you know what his last name is?" And then you look up on Facebook, and boom, there he is. And then we just start talking, which I haven't got a chance to talk to him in a while because things been going on. Um, but he's been listening to my podcast here and there, so which is great. He messaged me saying that he's listening to the King Kong episode, but that was a while back. Um, yeah, so it was like a lot of like stuff, because he kind of took us out of our shell, and then we just like bonded together, did bow and arrow practicing. There's a an archery range where we had compound bows, and you could buy them there. He had a compound bow. My friend Jesse had a compound bow. I never had one, and I bought one for myself. Still have it. I still have it. I haven't really used it in a while. Um, I should try to get back into it. But nowadays on Long Island, they don't really have a place where you can shoot a compound bow. Um, but I think they still do, but I don't know where yet. Um, what else is there? There was that. Um, I know I'm scanning around, but that's the way I do it. That's the way I roll. Um, oh, I heard this one saying, which it's like, don't be stupid while being a moron. That is crazy that you think about it. It's like there's a lot of people that are just freaking morons half the time. You talk to them, or they do something moronic, but then when they're doing something moronic, they want to be stupid as well. So don't be stupid while being a moron. It's like a double-edged sword, So I don't know, and it just struck me funny we call about the whole thing. I just I like the way it's said, and it was just but um the next part is about music. Now, my favorite music genre is heavy metal, obviously. I love hard rock. I mean, I like hard rock. I like the uh vintage hard rock, but I love heavy metal. Like there's ones now called Victims, um, Devil Driver. I love Devil Driver. There is a record company called Roadrunner Records, which has produced and put out a lot of different bands. You got your bands from Type O Negative to uh, uh, Chimera, King Diamond, Machine Head. Uh, when I say Chimera, Diamond Head, not Diamond Head, King Diamond, like I said, Machine Head, Grunt Truck, Type O Negative. That, yeah, I think I said Type O Negative already. Um, and vast other different bands and all that. So Roadrunner Records, 2005, 2005, they did a 25th anniversary special where they got 45 bands, and they got together. Now, usually when you do a compilation thing, it's like maybe one or two songs, whatever. They do a compilation thing, and then they send it out. No, they did a whole record, whole album thing where they had 45 split, and then they had four musicians being team captains, and which was let's see if I can remember it. So Dino, which was in Fear Factory and now in Divine Heresy, um, he's a cat. So he had like Naja Poolin, got the girl from Cold Chamber, bassist from the late Paul Gray from Slipknot, some other people on there, Trivium, and then the old captain was the late Joey Jorgensen from Slipknot. He had vast amount of people on there. So Dino was doing stuff in New York. Um, Joey Jorgensen was doing stuff in Ohio. Matt Heafy, which is in Trivium, he was doing stuff Florida, I think. Um, and then you had another team captain, uh, Rob something. He was a machine. He's the lead singer Machine Head. And they were in California. So they made like 5 or 6 different songs that you would never even think of. Like the lighter version of a song, and they were heavy metal. They did death metal ones, they did rock ones, more alternative ones. So the vast majority of different shit. Well, anyway, so my point is that they had this 25th anniversary, 2005. Now it's 2025. Um, so it would be their 20th anniversary, but if they're doing another 25th, so they got another 5, so that would be 2030. So in 2030, we should have another 25-year anniversary, which would be 50 years altogether for Roadrunner Records, which the whole thing was Roadrunner United. Um, and most of you metalheads that's out there, you know the shit I'm talking about. So it's not a like, oh, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm like, holy shit, I did not know about that. Well, some of you that didn't know, you know. And the people that does know, you're like, motherfucker, we know already. Well, yeah, I know you. So I'm just reiterating for the new people that's listening. So hopefully, if Roadrunner sees this or hears this, or whatever, which I doubt, I don't know. But if they do, send some free shit. Just come in and talk to me. Send me some stuff. If you want. I love the bands. Even whoever new that you get, I don't know if they're still running. I don't even know if Roadrunner Records is running as a record company anymore, because there's record companies that come and record records come and go, and and get destroyed or something. I don't know. It's just like, even the guy that the Monty, the guy that ran the thing, he goes, people have been up there with them, and then they disappeared, and then they just kept on going. They kept on signing people, signing metal when metal was metal, and they signed metal when metal wasn't metal. Wasn't really happening. They were still signing metal people. So in that fact, I'm hoping, so if Roadrunner Records, if you want to message me, you can message me on Twitter or X, the X, not the X, the X, um, it is at podcast Tattoo Squid. So that's PODCAST the number 2, SQUID. So it's kind of like dyslexia, but yeah, it's like a real, like Tattoo Squid podcast, but it's backwards, like Mexo play. All right, well, if you don't know, I'll tell you later. Uh, yeah, just message me on there or Instagram, Tattoo Squid, TA2SQUID dot podcast, and just message me on there. Um, and then we'll figure out some kind of, ways of sending me some kind of cool shit, that you didn't have. But if you're not running, oh well, and I put it out there. Um, my next topic, uh, which is, what's the one there? Oh, so all right. So now I'm coming back to my mom passing away. So she gets cremated. Right. So I wasn't sure because when my wife passed away, cremated, it went fast. Cremation, boom, 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 done. And I think I was wondering how I thought my mom's cremation was going to be like really quick and done. But then when I mentioned it, and then my girlfriend put it in perspective, um, somewhat. She was like, "Well, maybe there is people that have passed away and going to be cremated, and she is after them." So it made me think, and I'm like, "Huh, okay." It's like in life, we go and you know we have to wait online. Now in death, we still have to wait online. It's like we have to get cremated. We have to wait online until we get cremated, or we go and get buried. Um, you know, I don't know. It was just how I thought my stupid my brain thinks of I don't know. My brain thinks of stupid shit. Um, because a lot of people will be like, "Well, we never really thought of it that way." That was kind of like ridiculous. But it just puts you in perspective. Like everything that you're waiting for, you're online. You're literally online ordering shit. Um, you are either online grocery shopping. You are either on the physical on on a line waiting to do grocery shopping. Um, you're physically in a car waiting to get gas if it's like a major, you know, something. You are, there's people that's out there waiting for like free food or something, like from a church that I've seen that there's car lines going way down, you know. Uh, it's crazy how life comes, and also, all right, people know I'm not religious, but I always wondered if how we die. Like when we die, I mean, we don't really know how, like if we die, how we're gonna die. Because there's not like a person that has died and then comes back and tells you, "Hey, uh, I was over there hanging out with Cliff Burton and Dimebag and you know Jimmy Hoffa." I don't know, but you kind of like it makes you think like, how's it go? I mean, do you like when you pass away? Do people fall pass in their sleep, but is it black like a TV? Like just black. That's it. Like supernatural. Going into the darkness kind of thing, and just stand there. Yeah. Or do we go and see God Himself if there is? You know, you go up there and you're like, like, "Oh well, you done some good. Go right in." And then you go in there, you're in some land of, you're playing pool. Like my thing will probably be like I'm playing video games and playing pool or something. Other people like, hey, there's a bar that has free beer for eternity. Um, there's other people that love sex or whatever, and there's orgies all over the place. I don't know. Or they might be going downstairs and having that down there. It's like, okay, hold on, we'll give you a pass to go down to the hot springs. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just that's where I'm more thinking about, like how, where, where do we go? Do we just go there? Do we? And then honestly, do we do haunt a place? Do we hang around to where we are at? Like if I pass away in the bed or something, do I haunt this area? Do I haunt this place and stay here for eternity? Like they did with Beetlejuice. You're dead. You go to like some office and you try to find out, and you give you a manual. They give you a book. They give you a book. And folks that are like listening to this, I just picked up a thing that says Handbook for the Recently Deceased. So, which I got from the movie theater of of the movie Beetlejuice 2, Beetlejuice. And that actually it's a thing where you can, at that time you could put your popcorn probably in here. But you can put like other shit or whatever, miscellaneous stuff. You can put you can put it in the book rack, and just I haven't found out where to. Oh, that's where that hat's been. Ah, okay. Anyway, so ah, but um, yeah, it's just crazy how that would be. But folks, that is my time. Um, some of you are probably going like, "What the hell did I just watch?" Secondly, yeah, you've been watching me. Uh, but if you want to listen to more, or you want to see more butts. Uh, but if you want to still keep on watching, like the video part of it, like, subscribe. Um, so subscribe to the Tattoo Squid podcast. Um, like the videos, then uh, hit that notification bell. So when something like this comes up, you'll be notified that it is up and around, and you can see what kind of crazy bullshit I'm doing. But not really crazy, but just like, the hell is it gonna fucking talk about now? I don't know. But then if you're listening to this, well, also, but let's go back to the video part. So if you want to find out what else, or not find out, but if you want to suggest stuff for me to talk about, put in the comments. If you like this, put in the comments. If you hate this, put in the comments. Um, if you want to like send stuff, I'll give you the address. But I mean, it all depends. I want to get like one of those PO box things, make it a little easier. But again, if you're listening to this, I think it's like you can rate uh like 5-star rating. You do a 5-star rating, then that's great, and then I can try to do more stuff. Give you more input, give you more stuff to do. If you want to donate money, you know, on X or Twitter, I got a little money bag thing on there. So if you want to donate money, go right ahead. Um, it'll help out with what I'm doing, and I can be able to have the lights still on in the house. Yeah. Um, And if you want merchandise, there's threadless.com, Tattoo Squid Podcast. I got shirts and everything else in there. What else? TikTok, Instagram. Uh, and Owen is not TikTok. Clapper. Um, I don't know. There was like you'll see the link tree. I'm going to post. I'm going to put it in the description box. Uh, the link tree, so you click on either click on that or just type it out, and then you'll get to the link, and it has like everything from where you listen to your podcast, to um, the Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, uh, um, the other ones like TikToks and all that. And, uh, what else is there? There's like a whole bunch of different stuff. YouTube, and then it has the merchandise area as well. Um, yeah, if you got any ideas, just send it my way. And then see what goes on. I'm gonna have some guests. Hopefully, if you want to be a guest, easy enough. You're on Twitter at podcast Tattoo Squid. Just leave a message. If you're on Instagram, Tattoo Squid dot podcast. Um, and then you can send a message on there to see how you become a guest. Easy enough. You message me if you want to be on there. We figure out a date of when you want. Mostly it's gonna be on Saturday or Sunday, or it could be a Friday night. It all depends. I work with everybody, so whatever is good for you, I'll work into what you want to do. Yeah, and then I'll send you an email with a link to Zoom. And it's a Zoom chat mostly. So it works out a lot better when you do Zoom chat. So then that way I can do the video and split it up. I can do the video and do the audio as well. So it kind of, that's what I like about Zoom. Zoom you can do for work functions, but also you can do it for fun and things like now. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm using Zoom, to do this. Uh, but overall, folks, I figured I was gonna do like a horror thing of Long Island, but I haven't really tried to look into it. Um, maybe hopefully in next week. I'll try to do it next week. Uh, definitely want to try. Definitely do it next week. So everybody have a good time. Everybody have a good weekend. It's Saturday. Um, yeah, is there a holiday coming up? I don't think there is. Well, there's Memorial Day, but that's at the end of the month. So we got a while until that. Um, and then June, nothing really. July is the 4th of July, and my birthday's in August. Um, yeah, that's about it. Yeah. So everybody have a good time. Um, and yeah, I'll see you on the flip side. Until then, to the next episode. Goodbye.